Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here at the last track of NF's Hope album and our first reaction to it. Album is solid for me so far. It's up there. To me, this album I enjoy more than The Search because of its optimistic nature and its like positive outlook versus a very negative outlook on the same subject matter that he's used to rapping about. So I'm enjoying that a lot. And there's less songs, so it impacts even more. It's all fire. Let's see what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, consider following us over on Twitch. If you've seen every single video so far, you've heard the same intro multiple times, but consider following us over on Twitch. We're at about 500, 400 strong right now. And I promise you, you'll have a great time. Everybody who comes from YouTube, once they give it a chance, they enjoy the Twitch. It's a good time. You get to be part of the content. It's way more intimate. Also consider joining our second channel. We have TVs and movie reviews going up on the second channel. We just started that maybe about a month ago. So if you want to see what that's about, I promise you will enjoy it. If you enjoy this channel, you might actually enjoy it more because there's more to talk about. Lastly, I wrote a song, guys. It's available on iTunes, Apple Music, and Spotify. It will be linked in the description below. I personally really enjoy the song. I've gotten great feedback on it. A lot of people are enjoying it. So if you want to check it out, obviously that's free to do. Other than that, we're on our last song and then we'll give our wrap up thoughts. Running NF. Let's get it. He was sitting there, brush in hand.
I'm tired.
Lots of guitar on this album.
Of holding on to you, it's time to lay my pride. Go and learn to love myself again. Yeah, I don't wanna wait another day. I've waited long enough. I'm ready, I can see the sun, it's coming. Oh, there's happiness on the horizon.
Yeah, bro.
I'm hopeful I can see the light.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hesitated all my life, but I'm all done. I'm done running.
Yeah, bro.
Spent my whole life in your shadow, scared of who I'd be if I said goodbye and I didn't have you here. I wish you well, but I can no longer stand aside and watch you sabotage the two of us.
Hey, yo.
I love you to death, but I can't spend the rest of my life in this darkness. I'm done running from myself.
I'm done running.
I wish you the best.
Yeah. This is a fire outro. After everything that I said about I appreciate the change into optimism, or at least into closure, into accepting of this album versus past albums where wounds were clearly still open. This is like the perfect outro for this album for sure. What was the outro in The Search? Anybody remember The Search outro? I've been running. See what I mean? Trauma. I didn't know if it was for sure Trauma or not. But do you see the difference in the outro track to these albums? Trauma might be one of the saddest songs that I've ever heard. And this is like sad, but it's like bittersweet, but it's also uplifting. It's sad that I know we have to close this chapter, but I'm also happy that allows me to turn a new leaf. Also, my melody right there, hard.
I wish you the best, but I'm not interested in giving you more of my life. I've already given you too much. I don't want to lose you.
See, he just fucking did it right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I don't like about his rhyme schemes. He literally just did it right there. And I knew he was going to do it, but it still hit.
I wish you the best, but I'm not interested In giving you more of my life, I've already given you too much. I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna keep you. I know that you mean well, but when I fail, I don't need you. Rubbing my face in it and treating me like I'm less than you. Tell the truth, you know I'd be better without you. Been in your
Is he like talking to himself?
And try to convince me that I'm the real issue when you're the root to every problem. I love you, but not enough to allow you to.
I feel like he's talking to himself. You know, like he's talking to the darker part of him, the part that keeps him held back from being happy. Because that would be very fitting for knowing NF's journey and his issue with like his mental issues and things that he has and traumas and things that he's never put closure to. Again, I hate to compare it to Eminem, but this is like his 25 to life type track. You know, like Eminem had a song where it sounded like he was talking to a love, but he was really talking to rap and how he's given his whole life to it and got nothing in return. But sadness, it's almost the same thing here. Like he's talking to Black Wardrobe NF. And like I've given Black Wardrobe NF 5 albums. Like it's time for me to close that door. It's time for me to see myself for what I potentially could be in terms of the light, quote unquote. This whole album sounds like turning a new leaf, turning into a new chapter.
Don't be a fool and try to convince me that I'm the real issue when you put my face in it and treating me like I'm less than you. Tell the truth, you know I'd be better without you. Been in your shoes, don't be a fool and try to convince me that I'm the real issue when you're the root to every problem. I love you, but not enough to allow you to continue to drown the both of us. You're holding me back, you're pulling me down,
I like
you're
the
making
rise.
me hate myself. I don't want to leave, but
The
that's
rise
what I
in
need.
anger.
I ain't got a choice, I can't just let you deceive and make me believe that I don't deserve to be loved. I'm not gonna stand aside and watch you attempt to rob and steal and sabotage what little faith I have left. Yet haven't I sacrificed enough for you? Hate seeing you cry, but I think it's time to let go and say our goodbyes. Yeah, I'm gonna miss you, but I am not gonna spend the rest of my life running from you.
It's fire, bro.
Spend my whole life in your shadow, scared of who I'd be if I
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York
said
City?
goodbye and I didn't have you here. I wish you well, but I
Yeah, bro.
can no longer stand this
30 years of running.
and watch you sabotage the two of us. I love you to death, but I can't spend the rest of my life in this darkness. I'm done.
Crying lighters in the air music. This one's gonna be emotional in the tour. That's our album, ladies and gentlemen. How do we feel about it? Let's give claps all the way around. It's probably my favorite NF project. I do like how concise it is. If you know anything about me, if you've been on stream before, if you've heard me say it, I normally don't like long albums in today's day and age because long albums means that some of them are going to be shit. There's no way you put out 21 tracks and they're all bangers, you know? There's no way you put out 18 tracks and they're all bangers. So a 13 track album for me is perfect, especially for an artist the size of NF. He could have easily put out 18 tracks, but he didn't fall into that quote unquote trap the way he did in The Search. The Search is very long and it's very heavy. This is almost the opposite of The Search. This is short. It's much more optimistic, which makes sense for the Hope, the name of the album, his wardrobe change, just the overall mood of his music. And I do like that Running was the last track and we started the album out with like 30 years of hate, 30 years of, saga, 30 years of trouble, 30 years of trauma. And then now we're ending the album with saying those 30 years, that is now behind me. I am now moving forward with a new outlook in life. Grammy nomination worthy? It's hard to say because when you think of rap album of the year, a lot of times they're not going to put NF in that category because NF is not part of the rap community, quote unquote. NF is kind of like an outsider to the culture of hip hop. I don't think that he would get nominated. I believe it's mixed and mastered and arranged very well, and the lyrics and how heavy it is, it would all be Grammy contender, but I don't think that he's ever going to be nominated for a Grammy. When you think of the rap culture, NF is not in that rap culture to me. He is a rapper, but he's not part of the culture. On first listen, if we're talking about like a 1 to 10 rating, I would probably say an 7.5, 8. It's hard to say on first listen because I don't have any of the prior songs like in my memory. On first listen, it's all concise. It's all like the entire package is wrapped up in a perfect bow. I do think it would be 7.5, 8. It would probably solidify more at the 7.5 side. Just because, you know, like there's 2 tracks on here, Motto and Bullet, that I wouldn't listen to over and over. The rest of the album, that takes 2 out of 13 away. But yeah, that's where I sit. It's probably one of my favorite NF albums. It's up there with Perception. Perception has always been my favorite NF album. Now this one is up there as well.